Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody doing good. Listen, I'm back again with another reaction to the actions going on there at IAG Farm. First of all, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that left your condolences in our comments and also on different reaction channels like Charlie B and others that gave me a shout out concerning my brother who passed away last month. He's in a better place. The Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. So we're trying to get there ourselves. Because one day we all going to have to meet our Maker, and we just want to be ready when that happens, right? So anyway, thank you so much for each and every one of you that sent your condolences out. Thank you. Give a shout out to my boy Charlie B, who always look out. It seems like he always look out for me, and I appreciate that. Him and Larry and Jay and Miss B, appreciate y'all and appreciate your comments. All right. We're going to get into it today. Tim and Megan reminds me of that movie, Quest for Fire. When they first discovered fire, and uh, I even though I don't believe in evolution, I believe that God created us. I'm sorry, created us from the dust of the earth, not from no monkeys. And so, that's what my belief is, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stand like the young people say, 10 toes down on that. I just believe that God created us, and He is the author and the finisher of our faith. So I believe that. But anyway, we're going to get into it today. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I've been watching the reaction channels, which are doing such a great job. There's another one that popped up. I can't remember her name. I might just, pull it up a little bit later. But her name's Grandma. Grandma. Some of y'all know who she is. She's doing a good job. She does a lot of animation of Tim and Megan, and yeah, there's some good channels popping up, and we appreciate everyone that has their concern about this family, especially those kids. All right, but like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We're going to get into it. Like I say, you know, Megan said it when she was in the hospital. I know she was under medication and she wasn't all the way there, but the truth came out when Tim put them glasses on and said, I want you to see who I am. She said, I know who you are. And then just rolled her eyes. You know, that told the story right there. Just that right there. We know who you are. It's not all about God. It's all about being fake. And I've been hearing a lot of that in the reaction channels and in people comments during this week. And like I said, this is my off day, so this is my opportunity to put my 2 cents in. But it's all fake. I mean, even them walking out of the trailer home, all in one accord, is all scripted. Everything he does is scripted. And so we're going to get into some things that really was disturbing. When is it not disturbing to us to see some of the things that Tim does on that homestead? But anyway, like I said, thank you so much. Keep supporting this channel by subscribing, liking the channel, and also sharing the video, and hit the notification bell when I upload other things that might be an interest to you. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it. Going on. Okay, okay. Looking good. Is popcorn good? That popcorn tastes like paper with no kind of flavoring, caramel, um, cheese, sugar, salt and butter. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, you don't feed them every Friday. This is our first time seeing them getting popcorn for doing such a great job in class as a reward. This is our first time seeing that. And then you're going to give them dried up popcorn with no kind of flavoring. That's torture. That's not a snack. You feeding them cardboard paper. No flavor. So what y'all do when y'all sitting in homeschool on Friday? Yeah. Eat popcorn, do your work.
Let me see what you got going on. You got popcorn over there too? Okay. Do cook the popcorn on Friday. That's right. Yeah. Look like you got a pretty cool lesson going on right there. What are you doing on there? Is that like some type of learning, or is it just like a book? It's a book. Okay. It's a book on your tablet. Yeah. Okay. So y'all can do fun stuff on Friday, huh? After y'all done a good job and learned everything y'all need to learn.
How are they going to learn what they need to learn when you in the classroom for 12 minutes talking about popcorn and yourself? And then not only that, you take them out of the classroom to do what you should be doing as a man, shoving that pig dookie. That's the cleanest I can say it. How are they learning anything, Mr. Principal? When have you ever seen a principal go into a classroom and talk personal issues, talk about movies and everything else that's going on in life while the kids are in there studying their lessons? Huh? Principals don't do that. You're not a principal, you're a parent, you're a father, and you should have respect enough for the little bit that Megan is teaching to stay out of that classroom, while the boys are trying to do their work. They need all the help they can get. We see that. We have explained it so many times on the reaction channels. You cannot continue doing this, Tim. You are doing a disservice to your boys. It's irresponsible as parents to have these boys going through what they're going through. How are they going to learn everything they need to learn when you always in there talking about nothing? Do that when they're out of their class after they have done their studies. If anything, sometimes they span towards uh, uh, the work the boys are doing, and there's nothing on the worksheets. They got books open, but they're not reading. They got pencils in their hand, but they're not writing. Yeah, principal, please.
Get some popcorn, which is healthy popcorn, because we used to eat popcorn that had all the butter and the seasoning, salt and everything. Spray butter and those seasons, which I looked at them and they aren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. But it's a lot healthier just to have the straight popcorn, because we have an air popper and you don't even need oil. You just pop the corn. And I learned you were researching, and popcorn is a whole grain. Yep.
So now you're an expert on popcorn. Every time they learn something that people have been knowing for years, all of a sudden now they become experts who want to teach people about popcorn. Can't make this stuff up.
But then, okay, so if you have a vegetable, right? The vegetable straight out the garden, positive. Yes. But then you add salt on top of that, and sugar on top of that. Right. And butter. Those are three negatives on top of a positive. That's right. So popcorn literally is a positive. So some things you have that are positive, and if you have that positive of popcorn, which is a whole grain, and then you add on butter, it's a negative. Which butter can, depends on how you raise it, how much. The negative it is. Then you have salt, and then you put cheese on top of popcorn. You put all types of things. Sugar. One of them that was I looked at the little kettle corn mix, and there was like cane sugar, brown sugar. Yeah. So you can put sugar on top of your popcorn too. And even sugar, like you have different forms of sugar. Yeah. Like you can have a negative sugar, like corn syrup, or you can have maple syrup, which is a positive in moderation. And it can.
You can also take your behind out of that classroom and let them boys study. That's what you can do. All this talking could have been done after their homeschool. But you and Megan ended up disturbing the boys from doing their work. Irresponsible parents.
Become a negative with too much honey the same way because they have a lot of calories and all those type of things. It's still sugar, like, but what Benjamin be doing over in the corner. Because I think one time we did a video and somebody said, why doesn't Tim get the baby? It's like, because he on the pie. That's why. He had a blanket on top of him, so it looked like he was just sitting down, But that's like advanced parenting, multitasking, teaching class on the chalkboard, and Benjamin is at home.
Wasn't nothing on the chalkboard. It was blank. I think it had the date up there, and that's about it. Teaching boys on the chalkboard. Span over there, and ain't nothing on there. Like in your head.
Homeschool too. Like that's what he's learning how to do. And homeschool is a lifestyle for us. It's not like something that we do. It's who we are. Yeah, right? It's a calling. Yeah, and I love it because it was actually your idea to pop a little popcorn when we figured out that it was a healthy snack. Don't tell nobody. You can't tell nobody I had these good ideas. Now, I just want to give you all the credit so they can be like, Maggie, you're such a great teacher. Which
Habitual liar. Habitual liar. He doesn't know what it is to give credit to anybody. He has to be the one to get all the credit. He knows that. Everybody knows that. Anybody that watch your channel knows. You are the one that want all the credit. You're the star of the show.
you are, Yeah. So Tyler didn't even know. Did you know it was my idea, Tyler? No. You did? Yeah, you need to know that. I like to do stuff behind the scenes. It does. And so I will say this. People try to give me credit and do all this and do all that, but it's like this is a partnership. Right. It's marriage. It's a partnership. And a lot of the things I do, a lot of the ideas I have, like he is our homeschool.
No wonder the boys are in the shape that they're in. You're the principal. You're the one that mastermind all these ideas. So when they fail, we know who to point the finger at then. And there's been a lot of things failing around there. So no wonder we see the homestead in the shape that it's in. Are the boys failing in their education? That's a good play, Megan. Blame it all on Tim because that's where the blame goes. He's the bragging on, I'm the mastermind. I'm working behind the scenes. You're not even working. You're tapping on your little phone or your little tablet. That's the hardest thing that works on your body is your fingers. The second thing is that mouth. That's the hardest thing that works on you. You don't have to worry about muscles being overbearing. No, they don't get no work. Just that mouth and those fingers. That's what's getting the work.
A lot of those things come from him, or they even come from us like talking things together. And like he'll have an idea, or I have an idea, or whatever. But it's bouncing ideas off each other. Right. It's formed in unity with us together. So it's like 100% of the time it's not me. Exactly. It's us. Exactly. Working together. And a lot of times it'll be his idea.
People are always talking about women with low self-esteem. But how about the men? I've never seen no one on YouTube or in our everyday life have to be validated and congratulated on everything that they do. Painting a house. Come outside, y'all. See what I've done. Mowing the lawn. Come outside, boys. Come outside, Megan. See what I've done. Tore down a partial of the fence. Come outside, boys. Come outside, Megan. See what I've done. I need a pat on the back. I need somebody to validate me on things that a husband and a father should do on a daily basis. He takes it as something that has to be congratulated. Lifting groceries, helping, well, we don't always see that. Many times he had the camera when Megan's unloading the van or the truck or whatever, the SUV that they're in. But he has to have that validation. That's low self-esteem on his part. That's a person that has to have their ego massaged. And Megan would do it. She continued to do it. A big baby. Big baby Tim.
Well, we here one time because we had a married couple that we were counseling, and we brought in another married couple that actually had been married, divorced, and remarried. So they literally reconciled. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to find those examples, because that's what the Bible tells us to do. In those type of situations, to reconcile is to reconcile, right? To not marry another, because you still belong to that first person that you're married to. And so they were telling their testimony, and they were encouraging this married couple. We were kind of overseeing the process.
Overseeing the process? Who are y'all to oversee anything? Overseeing the process? You gotta be kidding me. Y'all are babes. Y'all were babes yourself. Megan probably was more mature than you. But Tim, you were a babe. How you gonna oversee anything? You need to be sitting in that class. In that counseling class. Being counseled, not overseeing nothing.
They said something that was super important. They said a lot of people think marriage is 50-50, but marriage is not 50-50. It's 100-100. Exactly. You give all of you, and I give all of me. And we come together, and it's not 200. It's still 100, It's like we're one now. Yep. So a lot of this homeschool, a lot of what we do in homeschool, it's a group effort, and everybody's involved. That's right. So Tim is behind the scenes a lot of times, but he has great ideas, and they're the reason why this homeschool can function. That's right.
Like everything else on that homestead, everything is backwards. It's not functional. It's dysfunctional. You got it backwards. There ain't nothing on there functional. You're failing these boys by having Tim being a principal, even being in that class. It's a disservice to those boys. It's not functional. It's dysfunctional. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like a business, You think about the CEO, the person that's running the business. Mm-hmm. But then you think about sometimes the CEO is the owner and the CEO, but sometimes the owner just hires somebody to run the company. Right. But it's they're still the owner of the.
Once again, we have Tim Sales comparing himself to something he knows nothing about, and that's a CEO. He does not run a business. His YouTube channel, nowhere close to what some of these YouTube channels are. He's running a homestead. He's doing what normal, natural, everyday individuals do. And he got content about it. He got a few followers. And that's dwindling down. It's getting lower and lower. But he always compares himself to something or someone that he has no business comparing himself to. And that's a CEO. First was Martin Luther King, then a lion. then a beast, now a CEO. This man delusional, completely delusional. Let's get to the rest of it.
Company, but and it's like sometimes you may think like that they're not doing anything because they're not in the office every day and they're not, but it's like they're behind the scenes, like making the business go. All the vision for the they started it, The company wouldn't exist if it weren't for like the idea that they had, and they're putting in all the protocols of how to run that company on a day-to-day basis, and then just passing it on. So you got your managers and your, boots on the ground operators that everything they do every day is because the owner, like, laid I know who you are. Still, this is the way the company should be run, and they're running it, it can't be like whatever, Walmart, McDonald's, whatever, without the original idea, like, this is what the burger is going to be like. Exactly. And if you make it a different way, it's not like a Big Mac. It's not like whatever. Exactly. It needs to be the same way every single time. Same amount of sesame seeds on the bun. As
Sometimes if you can't say anything good about it, don't say nothing at all.
owner level stuff. It's like, and if you don't want to go do it, if you don't want to do it like I want you to do it, it's like go somewhere else and start. I know who you are. Start your own company, Right. Yeah. It's like that's a silly example, but like seriously, he's our homeschool principal. So a lot of the way we run things and the way we do things are, visions that he set forth for our homeschool. Right.
And sadly, this is why the boys are in the shape and the condition they are in now. Is because of this stupidity that they just stated. Tim shouldn't be over nothing. He doesn't have the experience nor the education to be over anything that's academic. You can show him chores, how to feed pigs, how to feed chickens and goats. But other than that, all the schooling, history, math, social studies, English, reading, should be left up to a professional. This is a disservice to the boys. That right there explains everything. I thought it was all about God, but he himself said he's the mastermind behind all this. No wonder it's in shambles, and chaos, and confusion, and delusion, and cultic. We see who the leader is. We already knew it. But Megan just exposed it all. She exposed it all for everybody to hear. That's what cult leaders do. Jim Jones didn't start out all a heretic and a deceiver. He didn't start out that way. Neither did David Koresh or David Taylor. Start out humble, modest, with a pure heart. But fame and money would change a man's character for the worst. And this is what's happening. I'm almost done. Let's get to the rest of it. This other part where he's compared himself to a lion. Negro, please.
Tell nobody. I'm gonna edit all that out the video to make sure that nobody knows. I just gonna work behind the scenes. All right, boys. Looks like y'all are having fun. Ben looks like he's done over there. Ty, what you doing, Ty? Swimming in popcorn. Listen, I see you eating a lot of popcorn, but all I see on this paper is your name. But you're gonna get to it, I know. Well,
you're not going to get anything more than that. This is all planned, all scripted. Performance, acting. That blank paper represents the epitome of what's going on that farm. It's the epitome of that. Nothing. Nothing on the paper. Nothing's going on in their head. Nothing. Yeah, we know who you are. We know exactly who you are, Tim. A manipulator, a deceiver, and a poor excuse of a father. We know who you are.
Just a real simple thing. You just take you fill this little thing out right here with seeds, and let's see, these are the seeds here, and you fill it up with the seeds, and this is some of the stuff we used to use, spray on butter and all these seasons, but we don't use that stuff anymore. But we still.
What y'all laughing at? Yeah, he said spray on butter, but we always use that Pam spray to oil our skillets and our pans. It wasn't for spraying on your popcorn. Spray on butter. I told y'all this family reminds me of those Neanderthals back in the day discovering fire. Yeah, he said that. What y'all laughing at? Yeah, he said that. Spray on butter. They do have butter that's in containers that you can spread on your popcorn or any other thing that you want buttered. But Pam is used solely for spraying on your cooking utensils so it doesn't stick. And um, give a little flavor, but it wouldn't use for spraying on your popcorn. That's the first time I've heard it. If y'all do that, okay, then I'm the Neanderthal. But yeah, this is the principle of the school. Okay.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of IAG episode trailers and bonus footage. And today is actually Monday, I believe. And the video that y'all saw of the homeschool popcorn party was Friday of last week. And I was just
Once again, we have Tim Sales showing someone else's property with their cattle and their ponds. He just wishes his was just that clean, that nice and decent. And then to call that unflavored popcorn a popcorn party for the boys. That was a party, y'all. See how you overemphasize and build up things that's not what the audience actually see. We didn't see no party. We seen boys eating dried up cardboard paper tasting popcorn. Where was the party at? He made things so exciting and so inviting to his audience, like it's really something big and grand when we could see with our own eyes. Them boys were struggling, eating that dried, stale popcorn with no kind of flavoring. And then he need to pay his neighbors a percentage of his YouTube check for using their property and their cows and their horses and their ponds. Yeah, I mean, this guy here is a con at his best. That's one thing I know. My daughter up there laughing, but a con at his best.
sitting down, getting ready to edit today's bonus footage, and just work through the sneak peek and all those type of things. And as I was listening to what made the conversation that Megan and I had on Friday about when she was saying that I kind of work behind the scenes and a lot of the things that go on in homeschool, a lot of the things that go on the farm and things like that, I end up like, kind of masterminding those things and kind of setting the foundation for those things.
Wait 1 minute. Hold the presses. Now, all this time we thought God was the mastermind and you were the student. But now you come out and say that you mastermind this whole plan. And we thought it was all about God. Oh, your subscribers and your followers should listen to you now. That you're the mastermind. So all this mess we have been seeing on IAG Farm, it's all about Tim. It's been about Tim all along. Yeah, I thought God was the mastermind and you were the student. Okay, now we see, we know who you are.
And it made me think about this research and this study or this information that I was reading. I can't remember if it was an article or whatever it was, but it actually was talking about a male lion and a female lion. And they said that they thought that the male lions didn't hunt. They thought that it was just the female lions that did all the hunting. But they figured out later that the female lions, they did most of their hunting primarily during the day, and they would primarily hunt smaller prey or smaller game. But they said that the male lions, they actually found out over the last couple of years, or recently, I don't know when it was, but they recently found out and they renewed the information to say that the male lion actually does hunt, and he's a very aggressive hunter. And they said
Only comparison you have to a male lion is that they sleep through the day and then wait on the female lions to bring them food at night. Every now and then they'll help during the day. Every now and then. But the majority of the time they're laying up, waiting until the female does all the work, all the hunting, all the running, all the work, and brings the male lion the carcass. You can't compare yourself to a lion as being bold, being strong, courageous, being a protector of the pride. You can't compare yourself to that. Only comparison you have is that the lion sleeps all day and waits to get fed because we already know the next thing come out of your mouth after you finish doing a little work is when it's time to eat, when you gotta have a snack, when you gotta have a break, and even later on in the video where you tell your audience that hey, we rested for 2 weeks shoveling this pig pig poop all over the yard, garden as he called it, and you waited 2 weeks because you were so tired, your body was needed rest for 2 weeks. Okay, y'all. All right, I'm almost done. But man, sometimes you can't if you can't get mad, you gotta laugh. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he makes you mad, and sometimes he crack you up.
and most of the time, when the male lion hunts, he doesn't hunt during the day. And that's why their statistics and that's why their studies were thrown off because they were only recording and documenting the lions during the day. But they said that they found that the male lion would actually do all of his hunting or majority of his hunting during the night or at night. And so they said that the male lion.
And we know all what you do at night is read comments from the reaction channels and edit your videos. There's no aggressiveness in that. There's no aggressiveness, nor is it any kind of hard labor. Is typing on that keyboard of yours, on that phone of yours, pushing those buttons, editing and reading comments to see where, you know, either you can improve upon or to make a mockery of. But anyway, we know what you do at night. Nothing like a lion, bro. Stop all this comparison. It's not looking good on you. All right.
What's going on, y'all? It's IAG Farms. It's all about God, as y'all already know. And y'all can see, we're back on this garden project. And y'all remember the last video? We were working on this project where Megan went in gorilla mode, and we were working hard on this compost pile. And I don't know how many tons of dirt this is, of compost this is, but it has to be at least about, like, at least one dump truck load full of compost. And we're moving this whole pile by hand. And we actually
A smart and a wise man would have moved a section of that fence and brought in his big boy tractor and graded that yard out. Just graded it down to where everything was even, everything was flat. Probably use a rake here and there. But a loving husband, a loving father, would not have caused his kids to work that hard, nor his wife to work that hard. Matter of fact, called them out of homeschool and out of the house from doing her regular wife's chores, teaching the kids, cooking, washing, everything that she does. But you have her out there with a wheelbarrow, hauling pig dung around when you could have used that big boy tractor that you're so proud of, move a section of that fence and graded that yard. But we all know why you did it. We know the reason why you did it. Content. You like series, making series. You got that you got to have that YouTube check looking good. So you use this kind of content over and over and over again. You make a series out of it. It's called usury. It's called abuse of the system. You're abusing YouTube. Know good and well that what you're doing is wrong. It's manipulation. It's deception. So you rather work your kids like slaves. You're a warden. You just come out of the same system you're in and brought it over to your homestead. You're a warden, and your kids and your wife are like prisoners, allegedly, working in the yard like Hebrew slaves. I don't know. I just don't know what can be done. But God knows. That's all I can say.
This is probably about 2 weeks from the last time y'all saw us because we had to let our bodies recover because we worked so hard on this time. And we're finally getting back to it. Y'all saw we got farm chores done, and today is a vocational homeschool day. Boys, y'all excited about the vocational homeschool day? Mama, you excited? Yep, so y'all get out the classroom. Y'all been in the classroom all week now. Y'all can come out here and help.
What do you expect them to say? No, they're not having fun. No, they're not having fun. Getting up early in the morning, doing chores, maybe with no breakfast, and then going out there instead of being in that class, so-called class. I know we talk about it a lot, but at least they're learning a little something. But you pull them out of that their class from their little TV show. I hope they had a little cartoon or something on, something educational, and you pull them out to shovel pig manure and call it fun. That's not fun. Nowhere in the vocabulary should fun be put in that. That's not fun. Going to the movie is fun. Going to the park is fun. Going fishing is fun. Going bowling is fun. Playing basketball is fun. Playing football is fun. Playing soccer is fun. Having little girlfriends is fun. Having friends is fun. Playing hopscotch, if they still do that, is fun. Playing on PlayStations is fun. Going to school with other kids is fun. Reading an entertaining book is fun. Oh, yeah, we know who you are, Tim. You're fake. You're a fake father, a fake husband, a fake man of God, a fake pastor, and I'll never give you that title. It carries a lot of responsibility and a lot of endurance, a lot of humbleness to be a pastor. You have to be caring for the sheep, not leading them to slaughter. And that's what Tim Sells is doing. Leading a lot of people to slaughter, following his mess. All right, let's get to the rest of it.
So, and fill in some of the other areas. So, Tim Jr., you were working on that shovel last time. You ready to do some more shoveling today? Yeah. You excited about that? Noah, what was your job last time? To smooth it out. Yep, smooth it out. You excited about that? You ready for it? Yeah. Guys, I see you got the big boy metal rake. Your job is to smooth out the compost as well. You ready to do it again? Yeah. You think we'll be able to get done today? Yeah, I think we'll be able to get done. That's right. All right, Mama. Your job is to stand there and look pretty. I know you are. Yeah. That would be great, though, but it's not true. Oh, yeah. I see y'all got gloves today. What all these folks doing with these gloves? Look at that. Everybody got gloves. And Noah's holding business gloves because he keep on throwing them out his pocket. Everybody got gloves. Y'all ready to roll. We're ready to work. Because listen up.
Well, there ain't no fun. All scripted.
Because during the stream and
Right.
sometimes he like lets it go on a little bit too long. Good job, man. Yeah. All right, get some shovels. Start, get a good sweat going, and see if we can get this last little bit of compost done. I think.
This is the example of a lazy, sorry, bummed out man. Your wife just had surgery a few months ago, hernia surgery. And you have her out there doing the hardest work. Even though later on he's going to say, even though me and the boys were doing the hardest work. Negro, please. We're seeing it with our own eyes. We're hearing it with our own ears. We're not fooled. We're not confused. We're not delusional like you are. Megan is working the hardest. She's always worked the hardest. After she did that, she probably had to go in and cook for you. I said it very lightly. Not only that, she had to feed the boys and wash the dishes and wash the clothes and go feed the animals and then go get the eggs out of the chicken pen. While you lay up working those fingers and reading the comments and creating burner channels. That's the only way your views continue to be in the 15,000 to 20,000 views. You probably have every one of those TVs in your house on, running 24/7. every day. You resting on your shovel. And then one time they speeded it up, and you still took the longest to fill that barrel, that wheelbarrow the wheelbarrow up. And you call yourself a man, beast mode, man of God. Man, I tell you, I just, we are in prayer for Megan and those boys to get from under the hand of Tim Jones. I mean, Tim Sales. Because this ain't right. It ain't right as a man, as a father. This is a prison camp. He's running it just like a prison camp. The way the boys are locked up in their rooms, they don't go anywhere. They went to Disney World. Hooray! One trip out of a whole 4 years. And you call this fun? Uh-uh. I do not care what nobody say. I don't care how y'all come in my comments and say y'all should leave this black family alone. You should leave Tim alone. Are you jealous of him? You jealous of what he? None of that matters. None of that is true. The main thing is here that no man, no husband should have their wife out there slaving like that, pushing a heavy wheelbarrow while they stand up there with their hands on a shovel resting, or their hands on their hip, or him going in and taking a break. Because later on in the video, y'all can go watch that mess. But later on in the video, you can see where he's not even out there, while she's out there grading after doing all the dumping with the wheelbarrow. She's out there grading it with the rake while her boys and her husband look on. And even the boys even mock Megan at one time. No respect of their mother because the father doesn't show respect or consideration or affection. When have you seen the boys just run up and just hug their mama? I know my daughters, they old now. They grown ups. But they hug us every time they see us, they hug us and grab us and kiss us on the forehead, on the cheek. I mean, no, there's no kind of show of love, no kind of compassion, no affection nowhere shown in these videos. Unless we mention it, then he'll show it later on through the week because we mention it. It shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't have to mention anything on these reaction channels and then you react to it just for content. Ain't no way. I'm almost done. I've been long on this one, but it's been worth it because I got to make up for the whole week. I applaud the other reaction channels; they're able to get right on it. But this is my off day. This is my chance to get in my little 2 cents. But this is a shame. It's a shame before God. It is. Yeah, we know who you are, Tim. Just like Megan says in the hospital. I know who you are. We all know. All of them are standing up there looking at her while she struggled with that wheelbarrow. What kind of family is this? What kind of husband is this? And what is he teaching his sons? This is how you treat a woman. This is their mother, who not long ago had a surgery, a serious surgery, very serious. And there he is, having her struggling with a wheelbarrow that can cause that hernia to reappear and become worse than what it was before. It's abuse. Hmm. No, I'm good. We want to take a closer look of pig manure, Vanna White. Just we just finished here, and we got this all spread out, and just Vanna White with her directions and arms. Just, I mean, we could see it back there, Megan. You don't have to do all this. Take a closer look at pig manure. Who wants to see that mess? Not I. Let's get to the end of it. Watch out, Benjamin's way outside the fence walking back there. Anything can happen. Anything. They don't care. So close. Barely misses Benjamin and keeps going. What kind of father is that? And she yapping. Oh my goodness. Benjamin's out the picture. And here he is. Anything can happen right there.
Nobody's watching.
Right.
She's busy talking. They all looking that way, and then anything can get it.
Right. Irresponsible parents.
After carrying the wheelbarrow, he filming while she's still raking that. That wasn't enough.
Crazy. Boy sitting down. Fence posts and stuff. Nigga Timmy Jr. over there.
And my thing is, why couldn't she continue to hold the camera while he raped?
Yeah. Working like a Hebrew slave.
And she take it. And he filmed it.
Boys. You sure was something. Once again, here's Megan acting like she's Vanna White, spreading her arms out, showing us pig manure. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I'm about to end this. It's not amazing. It's crazy. Y'all were crazy. Y'all should have had that tractor doing that. Not your boys and you, Megan. Dumb.
I might get some ice cream. She didn't say nothing about food.
She probably going to go in there and eat.
Some ice cream.
Yeah. That word amazing is just overly used. Just redundant. Repetitive. Did anybody think it would end any differently than a narcissist ending it with saying he did the hardest work when we seen with our own eyes who did most of the work? All right, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, share the video, and we're out. Peace.